Alright, so one minute wisdom from the Rebbe for today. So the Torah tells us now this mitzvah that God is giving you today is not very distant from you. Rather, it's close to do both in your mouth, in your heart, and in your actions. Now, the Alter Rebbe explains in this in Tanya that means that Torah mitzvahs has to be done in a way that it's actually going to affect you. And it's not very distant and not very difficult for you to be able to reach there. Now, the Alter Rebbe explains over there in a way of arucha uktzara, which means that it's something which takes longer to get to, but ultimately it's shorter. What does it mean something which is longer but shorter? Is because the idea is that it takes a lot of work to be able to reveal the love which you have within you. It takes a lot of effort in thinking about godliness, but ultimately it's shorter because it will actually get you to reach the goal. And this is like the Rambam, who the Rambam writes in the beginning of his account of mitzvahs that the mitzvah number one is that you should have emunah, you should have belief in God. Yet in Sefer mitzvah, in actual Rambam, in Yad HaChazaka, the Rambam says the first mitzvah is to know God. Is it about knowing God or is it about belief in God? And the answer is that you actually need both of them. It has to start off, and your foundation always has to be the idea of emunah, believing in God no matter what. But it can't just stay as emunah. It has to come into your actual understanding. It has to be something that you bring into your own life and you should actually understand in your day-to-day life. And this is like what the Rambam in general holds versus the Ravid. The Ravid usually says that you need to have just the idea of faith, believe in God. Supposed to the Rambam says it actually has to come into your understanding. You have to relate to it and actually understand it. And the Rambam says that the ultimate way of relating to God is actually that you should be able to understand whatever you can in your own mind. And obviously it has to be based on the Emunah as well. This is actually the idea of what Chai Elul is. Today is the day of the birthday of the Baal Shem Tov, as well as the Alter Rebbe. The Baal Shem Tov came to the world to reveal to the world the idea of Emunah, that you have to believe in God and reveal the fact that you're ma'aminim, that you have godliness within your heart. The problem is if you only have that Emunah without understanding it, it can remain in a way which is very obscure to you. It's something which is in your brain that you know, but it doesn't actually affect your actions. And therefore you have to have the idea of Chassidus Chabad, which the Alter Rebbe revealed. That he said that you have to actually understand it, bring it into your day-to-day life. That way you'll be able to actually come into mindset, and that it should actually affect your day-to-day life. You should live your life according to the way that God wants to. L'chaim, l'chaim.